Good morning again. Well, it's afternoon actually. We should do a video about the letter HEH. Maybe some other letters, but primarily there's lots of controversy about which script to use, whether to use a modern script, a paleo script, or a pictographic script. Certain people say, oh no, it's only the modern script. Some other people go, no, it's only the older script. Me personally, I believe all three scripts are allowed, if you like. I think with each script they close revelations and then they open new set revelations, and then it changes again, they close some and open them to some new ones. Some people believe Ezra the scribe brought in the new script, the Aramaic script that the Hebrew language also uses. Other people believe it was actually Daniel because he was told to hide the words and seal the book, and some people think that means actually the letters. And there's different theories on it. Me personally, I study all of them because I've seen too much in each script to discount any. Sorry. I've got sniffles as well, so I might have to sniff a bit. Right. Pardon me. There's a lot of controversy about whether the HEH used to be a picture of a man, or sometimes the letters are displayed. Right. Me personally, I believe it was a man. Partly because of research I've read in different sources, but also because of my own studies. If you look at some of my videos, I think I've presented or demonstrated that it likely was a man at some point. Now, most people just say, oh, it just means behold, and then they stop there, they don't look at anything else. Just go, oh, it means beholden the, and that's it. It does mean beholden the, because you've got the bloke, and he's like going, hey! We still say the same expression nowadays, don't we? We go, ah, hey, hey, oh, you know, it all means like, hey, look, behold. That's exactly the same expression. Another set means breath and spirit, because it's like, oh, wow. And in Hebrew, the word for breath and spirit is the same, it's ruach. That means wind as well. So it has all these concepts built in. Now, some say this is like a bloke sort of doing a spirit dance, and I don't have any problem with that. It kind of is, which is in spirit, if he's dancing towards a spirit, whether it's the wrong one or true one, whatever you want to look at it, it's like worship. So I'd say this means worship as well. I have no problem with that. Worship, praise. It could be a bloke jumping up in the air because his knees are bent, or it could be a bloke actually bowing down. If you imagine that's a top-down view, and you just change it a bit. It could be a bloke sort of prostrating. So you have the same sort of concepts, and you combine this, maybe it also means submission, right? Possibly. I've seen that a few times. I don't know if it does or not, but I don't see why it couldn't do. In the Paleo Hebrew, it was like this, or sometimes like that. It's kind of the same thing. And people say that means it's like a window. I've never seen a window myself there, but I suppose you could see it as a window if you got your lintel, your frame. These are like slats, could be like a window. Another say, well, it's a window in the sense of light, because you've got light rays coming out of it. That kind of makes some sense, because if you're going, hey, look, behold, you're sort of saying, I see, I understand. Hey, have a look, see? It's like a bit of light, you can see it, you're looking out the window, you're revealing, it also means reveal. It's like, ooh, wow. All these concepts are built in, without a contradiction as I see it, I don't see any contradiction with all these concepts. And with the breath one as well, like the modern, see, this kind of evolved. I think what happened is, I think personally what happened is, let me just rub it out. I think the way it evolved is this. Based on your studies, I could be wrong, but this is what I think. You've got a man, right? He's doing that. And I say again, I think sometimes the script evolved or devolved not simply because of scribal easiness, but also because of possibly it was divinely ordained to evolve in a certain way to close revelation and open revelation. That's just my own theory. I might be wrong, but I get the idea. This is what happened. You've got a bloke here. As he's growing up and getting older, he's getting more humble. The legs do this way, don't they? There we go. Sort of just bowing down. I kind of see that. Plus, if you think about it, if you have, let's say, the spaces to write letters, when you're doing this, if you turn it sideways, just cut off a leg and drop it downwards, well, you've got another space there, so you can cram more in. I think that's kind of what happened with that. Once it goes to, excuse me, that, once it was this, I think what happened is they got bored of going. I think eventually they just went, "Oh, sod it." Yeah, it's easier. You know, so it looks a bit like a crow's foot. Sometimes it's found like this in Dead Sea Scrolls. Other times it was sometimes found a bit more like that, a bit like a tav. But either way, if you just cut that piece off, well, it's kind of like the modern hay, isn't it? Really. You know, I think that's how it evolved. Again, my own theory based on my own conclusions. Could be wrong. I believe that's how the hay has changed with the time, because even though you might argue, well, that's Aramaic, not Hebrew, it's all related. It's all sort of interconnected. Right. So there's some of the reasons. There's another reason I believe the hay was a bloke. In English, when we ask a question, we go blah blah blah, then write a question mark. In Hebrew, they sort of, in a sense, they put the, or hay, or behold, at the start of a word, and then they go blah 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 blah. So it's like they go question, blah 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 blah. Same thing. So again, if this is basically being used as a question mark, because sometimes grammatically it is, if you put a bloke there doing that, is it not the same as going, I don't know, hey, I don't know, the question, I don't know, what is it? Same picture. So I think there's ample evidence it probably was a man. Look at my Yahuwah remake video. I'm going to make a third version soon. I did actually upload a third version, but I took it down because of some errors, so I had to correct it. But have a look at that. Have a look at my Seth video, my Ahaba video, and there's some others as well, where I think I've demonstrated that the man, when you interpret it, it works perfectly without any contradiction. Next letter, okay? Samekh. Modern Hebrew looks like this. Pictographic and paleo, it was more like that. Again, I think I found out how this evolved. Could be wrong, my own theory. In fact, let me just scrub this one out. It's usually translated in terms of letter meaning as meaning a prop or a support or a help. This older form is often supposedly a thorn bush or thorn, and they say that means that's a support in the sense that you'd have sheep in like a corral and they would put loads of thorns around it to support it and protect it. Possibly. Some people believe this is like a palm tree. Again, you know, it's not too hard to see. I can sort of see where they're coming from. If this is a thorn bush or palm tree, then you could just say it's a plant. If that's true, is this not basically this? A menorah? Because all you've got to do is bend the branches and you get a menorah. I think it possibly is, because a menorah is a tree as well. You know, this evolved into something that looks like this. Right. And another meaning of this is like a pillar or column. And again, with a thorn, or some people say it means to grab on, hate, hurt. Or some say it means to twist. I'm not sure how they get twist. Maybe it's because the tree's swaying in the wind. Not too sure. I've got an idea though. Again, I think this letter is a story of I can't be bothered, and I find this rather funny, but this is why I think after a while people get bored of going, I think what happened is I just went, yeah, it's sort of the same, yeah, I do, tried it, yeah. And then after a while, I think what happened is I got even more idle, and they couldn't be bothered to go, so then they just went, because it's kind of like that. You see it's like a big number 3 sometimes. It's like, yeah, I do, and then from there, need a bigger board. From there, I think they just kind of went, yeah, I do, yeah, there you go, I do, yeah. Modern Samekh, right? That's how I believe that it evolved. It still has the idea of propping, supporting, the idea of protection, I suppose. But if you combine some of these meanings, I'll get the notebook out, because I've got it down. Okay. If you put all the concepts together, the idea of something grabbing, something twisting, something that's like a thorn or hurt. put this in, yeah, or hate. So you've got negative connotation. Like a tree, something that's like a column. Plus, if you look at the Samekh, this one, it does look a bit like a support that you put plants on, and it's also a bit like a pylon, and it's also a bit like a ship's mast. It's support, it holds things up. Column. Oh yeah, surrounds. And there's a lot of sources that suggest it means to lift up. Again, in the sense of propping or supporting, you're lifting something up. Okay, so you've got grab, twist, thorn, hurt, hate, column, surrounds, lift up. And it's a help in the sense of support. Okay. Putting this together, and especially if you combine that with this, my personal belief is that it also represents a tornado or fire tornado, because you combine these together in one big picture. You know, you got that. Well, it's tornado, isn't it? This describes a tornado perfectly. How does it help and support you? Well, when the Israelites were coming out of Egypt and you had the Pharaoh and his army chasing after them, there's a big column of fire. We have fire tornadoes, it's a known thing. So you have this. And for some of the later videos I'm doing, this actually appears where I'd expect it to. I'll show you what I mean later on. Yeah. Plus, the modern version, well, that's like a top-down view of this. It's like looking down from top view. So again, these are my conclusions. Throw them out the window if you wish. I think there's plenty of evidence to suggest this, though. Okay, one more. The letter TET. Modern version, something like that. There was a slight offshoot, allegedly. When you download the actual fonts for your computer, sometimes you see the TET like this. Like that. I'll come on to that in a minute. This is supposed to have the meaning of to contain, surround, snake, out there, mud, or earth, yeah, basket. And if you combine mud and earth with basket and something that contains, well, you get a jar as well. So I have no problem with a jar. That makes perfect sense. So it's like a container. This would probably represent a simplified version of that. Basket leaf. Some people in the sources suggest it's a bit like a towel mixed with an iron. And the towel is like a marker, signature, an agreement, covenant, iron, picture of the eye, understanding, all this. So it's like X marks a spot. It's like, yeah, I understand, agreement, there you go, target. Or like a seal, you know, it looks like a branding iron seal. You get all these concepts. Another one, actually, a shield. Because a shield, it contains you, it surrounds you, you know, you're inside it. Now this one here, I think this is a picture of a shield, and the reason being, we draw it bigger. This piece here, if you just flip it 90 degrees, it doesn't really matter which way it is, that's basically a pictographic yod. The hand is like this, before it evolved to that, and then just a fist. So you got kind of the idea of somebody holding a shield. Okay? It all works together. But there's another interpretation. I've only seen once, it might be bogus. I thought, no, it's too different. I've looked into it, now I think it possibly is true. And this is why. Just make some space. Nice squeak, innit? Right, let me just put a sitter here. On this particular video I watched, you have a TET. Okay? what they're saying is, they're saying these are Dalit's doors, and Paleo Hebrew are triangles. Okay. And then they say, well, this is like the city wall, and this is a crossroads. I thought, yeah, that makes a lot of sense actually. You know, you could say instead of Dalit's being here, where they've actually drawn, you could say realistically they're probably here by the roads. That makes a lot more sense actually. You know, and if you do get a city, well, it contains what's ever inside it. It surrounds what's ever inside it. So you're not so sure. Mud, earth, well, they're made out of bricks, which is basically baked clay or rocks. It's to do with the earth and mud. So it's made out of mud and earth. Basket jar, again, contains surround. Shield, it protects its inhabitants from the outside, and it protects the outside from the inside because you've got the shield or the city walls. So I think TET could represent a city. It kind of works. Plus, if you look at this, you've got 4 doors. The New Jerusalem, or Jerusalem, apparently has 12 doors. But the dimensions are the same. Dimensions are the same that way, the same this way, and the same that way. So some people go, well, was it a Borg cube? Like a Borg, you know, Star Trek or something. Was it a Borg cube? The same, and the same. Or was it a triangle, like a pyramid? And some go, oh, it can't be because it's Illuminati. Yeah, okay, calm down. Satan copies everything. Maybe it was a triangle type pyramid and then it got corrupted. Could be, because the top could be the same height as this and that. Or maybe it's just like a normal, like a circle or any shape, and basically the diameter that way is the same as the diameter that way. And the tallest building, you know, you've got all different buildings, the tallest one is the same. I don't know, I'm just speculating. And like we're here, you've got the triangle where Dalit would be. Maybe that's like where your 3 doors are. It says on each direction you have 3 doors, because there's a door for each tribe of Israel, so there's 12. So, I'm getting messy now, but it could be, I don't know. I'm just going through ideas. I think there's evidence to suggest this. And again, like I said with the Samekh and this next video, or one of the next videos that I wish to make about it being in the right position, this is also the right position for what I wish to show you. But again, I'll probably get onto that later. Right. That's it for now. Again, it'd be nice if we could have some conversation. I'd like to know what you think about this. If you think I'm talking rubbish, fair enough. Let's have a conversation.